Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the weird side of the Mattel Diecast line, the weird releases, some cars that didn't even appear in the movie, and just overall interesting and odd diecasts. So I suppose we should just kind of get started pretty quickly, and let's take a look at Mater with 95 hat, who was first released in 2019 in the same case as Nick Pit Tire and Todd Crash, I believe. Might have been a metallic in there, but I don't quite remember. He was the boring new release out of it, although he's still a somewhat interesting car. The reason that he's on this list is because he didn't even appear in the movie. The hat itself did appear in the movie, Cars 3 of course. It did appear in the movie, but it never appeared on Mater. It appeared on Mater's junkyard friend that he made. I'm not sure what we should call him because it's just kind of a pile of metal and scrap and the hat. So it didn't appear on Mater, but it did appear in the movie. Let's keep it coming with another Mater. Here is Mater with Spyglass. He did not appear in Cars 2, I meant, which is why he's on this list. He was in some of the prototype art, but he never appeared in the actual movie. He was released in the Cars 2 diecast line in a 2-pack with Acer, I believe it was Acer. And he has a cool little expression, and the Spyglass actually looks pretty cool, though. It's a shame that we didn't actually see it in the movie, although it's certainly an interesting take on the spy versions of Mater. We could have gotten like Mater with machine guns or something, but instead we got something that didn't even appear in the movie, although I'm not complaining. It is a pretty cool release. Let's go with another Cars 2 diecast. This is Interview Francesco Bernoulli. I believe he came with like an all-in-all can. There was Ciao Francesco Bernoulli and the Interview Interview Francesco Bernoulli was in either it was the Maldorado show or is the Wheel Well Motel. One of those two series. He appeared in one of those, and the other one, which is Ciao Francesco, was the one that appeared in the 2014 Super Chase line. It was 2014? Yeah, 2014. Obviously, just a normal Francesco Bernoulli. Nothing interesting, except for he has a slight expression change and hole in the eyes, and then his mouth is open, and it does make him look mad, of course. In the movie, he wasn't exactly happy about the ending of that interview. Let's go with these two. This is Grem in Trouble and Acer in Trouble, released in the 2015 Ye Left Turn In line series. Still, as I keep on saying, it's just a normal diecast, except with an expression change. In the movie, they kind of get in there and they literally just flew into a bar, and they're just not having the best time, so that's why they look kind of both nervous and just kind of tired, exhausted. And then, as you can see, as the camera kind of pans away, you can see M. Fenderickson's kind of teabagging them, jumping on them over and over, which is actually a pretty funny addition to the movie. Next up, we have these two. This is Lost Mini and Lost Van. Lost Mini, obviously they're the same model still. Has all the dust and dirt all over her, and her expression looking to her right, or her left, rather, or right. What's it called, the infamous purple color on her, and you have, just the dust. And then the more interesting one of the two is Lost Van. Of course, has all the dirt still, and he has an expression like the Ento Okola crew chief would have had, except the chief would have been smiling. And my favorite part is the tumbleweed that kind of comes out of the suitcase, which I think is a pretty funny addition to Van. Alright, next up, let's go with this guy. This is Race to Damaged Mood Springs. He did, of course, appear in the movie in that funny scene where he's just saying, no, I can still race, something along the lines of that. And this is actually a pretty good angle of what he did look like in the movie. You get like Race, Tow Tom, or whatever his name, Tom the tow truck, wherever he is right now. You can kind of see him over there, towing him off the road, and of course, he was exclusive to the Final Lap collection, and his case was produced in low quantities, and the ones that did make it out were sold pretty quickly, so I paid $110 for this guy in 2018, so really, really rare dude nowadays. You have to pay like $120 and more for a loose one. Pretty cool diecast, however. If you want more of an in-depth look at him, you can go and check out one of my latest videos showcasing the 25 rarest diecast in my collection, and he is in that video where we kind of take a better look at him. Speaking of cars that were in that video, here we have Captured Professor Z, exclusive to a Cars 2 line multi-pack. Nobody knew except, actually, there was, what was his name? Union Jack Ramone. I believe that was his first ever release. Just a simple Professor Z, you know, with the rubber band and all that, expression change. Once again, if you do want more information on that, more in-depth look at him, you can go and check out my video on the rarest cars, since his pack is super rare nowadays, like $80. So pretty rare and just a really stupid release, in my opinion. Next up, we have Brian Gerlowski, who, similar to 95 Hat Mater and Mater with Spyglass, he did not actually appear in the movie. Rip Klutschkonski never had a crew chief that we could see, but apparently, if he did have one, this is what he looked like. I'm sure that he was in some of like the prototype art and they just cut it from there, but looking at the actual frames of Cars 3, he never actually appears. I actually like this guy's model a lot. It's similar to the Trunkov, but with a wagon end. Has the new Rear-Endia flag on the top, which looks pretty cool. I believe it's supposed to be that way, or that's what the, no, it looks like this, yeah. That's what the flag looks like. If you want to go and look up new Rear-Endia on Google, you can actually see the flag, which is something I think is pretty cool. Got the under a red stripe, green stripe. Actually, a really detailed crew chief. I like him a lot, and sometimes you have to wonder where a new Rear-Endia actually is. Like, is it in Europe? Is it in Asia? Is it in North America? Who knows? I mean, got a pretty odd-looking flag, so that doesn't exactly help. But who knows? I'd say it's probably somewhere in Northeast Europe, judging by the model that Brian is. Next up, let's go with Steel Blue Jackson Storm. Now, this guy is kind of an interesting one to put on this list, considering it's like putting a Metallica car on this list, like, oh, it didn't appear in the movie. But the reason that this guy is on the list is because it's just kind of came out of the blue. He was exclusive to a Malaysia Toys R Us promotional item for a few days or something like that. He's actually surprisingly cheap on eBay, or for a car that's exclusive to Malaysia. Although his price is probably going to go way up soon. Looks really, really cool, just a Jackson Storm, but that blue looks so nice. And this is actually the store version of him. I also happen to have a prototype version of him that has the code, and the prototype version also doesn't have anything on the spoiler, and the rims are not painted blue like the store version is. I like both. Pretty cool. Obviously, I'm a fan of the store one since it has more detail. It's also pretty cool to own a prototype of him. from the Chinese eBay sellers. Who should we go with next? Let's take a look at this guy. This is hydraulic radiator springs Ramone. He was exclusive to a 7-pack in the Cars 2 line. Target exclusive. I saw it plenty of times at Target, but I never got it, and then eventually for like Christmas or something, I did end up getting it, which was a really nice surprise. And this guy is pretty rare nowadays. He was worth like $40, no, like $25 loose, or not worth, but there was a listing for it, which is a really good deal. And then his pack is worth like $50, so he's kind of rare. He's on this list because it's a hydraulic variation of him, and it's also, in my opinion, his wackiest paint job. Although the Saludos Amigos Ramone hasn't actually come out yet, but that's also a pretty interesting Ramone variant. Got 4 cars on the list left. Let's take a look at the Popemobile. I'm actually wondering why I put him on here since he did appear in the movie. I just think it's interesting that they actually released a car that can fit another car inside of it. Let me go grab the Pope real quick. Give me a second. The Pope is kind of, yeah, he's right there. Let me go get him. Alright, here he is. I just broke something. That was one of the risers. Wasn't going to use it, but I guess it's broken now. You can actually fit the Popemobile in here, just barely. You can put him like that, and then fold it up, and it just barely fits. Looks pretty cool, actually. Got this guy way back in the day. The Pope actually is in pretty good condition. He's a liquid diecast. He's like an old Alfa Romeo, actually. The hat looks really, really nice on him. Let's go with another large car. This is Morgan Martin's, and the reason this guy is on this list is because he barely appeared in the movie. Did he appear in the movie? Yes. But barely? Also yes. Actually, we might be looking in the wrong place for him. I mean, we were all looking at McQueen's Crash in an attempt to find Morgan Martin's and Stu Scattershields, but it turns out Stu Scattershields didn't appear at the Crash. He appeared at the Florida 500, and now I'm kind of thinking the same thing for both Tiny Lugsworth and Morgan Martin's. Tiny Lugsworth did appear in the movie. You can just barely make him out. However, Morgan Martin's also appeared in the movie. I'm a firm believer that he did appear in the movie. Like, as it's fading to black, you can just make out the lights of an ambulance. And I'm just going to say that's Morgan Martin's, just so we don't have one of those situations. And he is also a super chase for the Cars 3 line. Speaking of super chases, here's Globy, and he's on this list just because he's Globy. Globe car, whatever you want to call him, Globe boy. He's a bit smaller than you'd think he'd be, considering that you could have Professor Z literally just leap onto him like that. So, yeah, he's doesn't on release, since considering in the movie he's just an inflatable blow up. But I'm not complaining. Pretty interesting release. And he also was a super chase in 2019. The final car on this list also happens to be the car I got most recently. This is Uncle Topolino with tires. Now, he actually didn't appear with tires in the movie, which is why he's on this list. Same with Tom Worth Oil Can. Tom Worth Oil Can should be here in the next couple of days. I ordered him right after I ordered Uncle Topolino with tires from the Chinese eBay sellers. Hopefully it does come with can, but I don't believe he actually appeared with tires. And the multi-pack he was in, it was just labeled as Uncle Topolino, not Uncle Topolino with tires. But he did come with the tires, and that's why I put them with him. And the pack is worth around $40 now, so he's a semi-rare model. He is the final car on this list. So that concludes the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you all in the next one. Goodbye.